There's a reason Chris McLean is the most hated host in cartoon history, and that's because this psycho does things like this.
What? You can't just let us die.
Yeah. You all signed a release. $1 million is a lot of cash.
This arsehole literally went to prison for attempted murder and dumping teenagers in a toxic waste cave with bombs in their backpacks.
Bombs? Too far, McLean. Too far.
He clearly has a bomb fetish. But you know what will make this video satisfying? Him getting karma, and a metric ton of it as well. And as always, we're going through every moment in Total Drama where he gets a sexy dose of karma.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this.
After putting teenagers through absolute hell for an entire season, forcing them to jump off cliffs, stay awake for days.
We are now 12 hours in with all 21 campers still wide awake.
And face their worst fears. The campers finally have enough. With the amount of torture he's put them through, you've got to wonder if he was planning these sadistic challenges all year just to watch them suffer. Well, turns out he actually was. He always does this when the camping season's over. He's been sitting back with his smug smile, acting like he's the king. But in the finale, after either Owen or Gwen wins, something beautiful happens.
Guys, my hair! Dude!
Duncan, Jeff, and Owen grab him and wait for it. His precious hair gets ruined, his designer outfit soaked, and all the campers, even Heather, is laughing at him.
I've been wanting to do that all summer. How do you like that, pretty boy?
Serves you right, you idiot. Even Chef admits he's wanted to do this all summer. Now, you'd think this would change him, make him realise he's been an ass all summer. But nope, this is Chris McLean we're talking about. He just gets worse. But so will the karma. During the elimination round of Wow and Aqua Gone Wild, Chris feeds his pet beaver with peanuts in his hand. He probably thinks he looks cool when he does that. The beaver's just munching away, living its best life when it discovers there's no more peanuts left. So he just goes for his next snack. I wonder what that could be.
Who will win? Who will lose? Ow! Who will need a rabies shot thanks to this ungrateful little...
Chris's face immediately changes from, look at me, I'm bonding with nature, to, oh God, why is this happening to me? In less than a second. Chris cussing the beaver out and switching to nice guy mode is so embarrassing. You can literally see him remember, oh wait, I'm on camera, this is a kid's show. Well, on the bright side, Chris fumbled on national television, regretting his life choices and wondering if his health insurance covers rodent attacks. His aura points, 0. Gone. Sent to another dimension. Speaking of being sent somewhere, Chris ends up in a shitty situation. As Chris is busy bragging about his new torture plans, he accidentally walks into Scott's trap and whoosh. This man gets launched into the air like a human cannonball. And where does he land? Not in water, not in mud. No. This beautiful disaster of a human being gets flung directly into... a septic tank. Yes, he got thrown into literal shit. This man is now marinating in everything that comes out of a toilet. That splash alone would probably violate several health codes. Chris begs the intern to let him out of there. But who would want to listen to a sadist who's been torturing them for months? Exactly, no one. Now, guess what they did?
More sewage!
Stuffed the tank with even more shit. Man, I love these guys. You know what's crazy? We haven't even wiped the floor with him yet. Karma still has something worse in store for Chris in this next scene.
Great!
You really want to see this, man.
Ooh, right after scoring points with a hot chick, that's gonna suck for days. Wouldn't want to be him, but hey, look on the bright side. We won't be seeing that dickhead for a while. Now this is what I call a happy ending. Speaking of happy endings, while Chris was hosting the world tour, Sierra exposed his deepest, darkest secrets.
He is going down.
And she did it on live TV. This girl was barely holding back. She really wants him gone. Because Chris is an absolute narcissist. He thinks he's untouchable. But this total drama superfan is about to wreck his perfect image. I don't know about you, but I'm loving where this is going. Sierra drops bombs about Chris's past. She reveals he was in a boy band called Fametown. Interesting. Mr. I'm Too Cool for School was out here doing synchronized dances in matching outfits.
That is it! Zip it! Permanently! Ugh!
What a loser. Now, did you really think that Chris would just quietly accept this humiliation? No. But there's nothing he can do to stop her. Because Sierra has also exposed his cancelled cooking show, Keep It Plain with Chris McLean, which lasted 1 episode.
I was going through a phase.
I never thought I'd see the day. Chris getting desperate. Chris is practically begging her to shut up. He's sweating, muttering, and running around like an oaf. Well, what did you expect? She made him live his worst nightmare, crushing his precious image in front of everyone. This girl is a godsend. You know, I just realized why Sierra came so late into the series. She'd have ruined Chris from day one. Now, if there's 2 things you can count me in for, it's Chris hate and ruining what Chris loves. In the episode I See London, Chris's most prized possession gets absolutely destroyed. You know his massive, expensive jumbo jet that he's been bragging about all season? He loves this plane. It's his pride and joy.
A grand piano? Wood-burning pizza oven? 4-person hot tub with LED light show and dancing waters?
How do I win this? My fair Lashana loves a hot tub.
Easy, Tiger. These are my quarters, and they're off limits.
Things go a little too well for him, and he ends up way too attached to this plane. But you know how the saying goes, what goes around always comes back to f*** around. Well, that's not really what the saying is, but Karma's counterplan is simple. Blow it the f*** up. And who better to blow it up than our favourite girl, Sierra?
Sierra! Look out!
The plan works when Sierra's birthday cake sparklers ignite spilled oil and the entire plane explodes. The bloody thing goes up in flames. And you know what happens to Chris?
Sierra! My beautiful plane!
Chris is completely broken, almost crying, watching his beautiful jet burn. That is until he realises they're stranded and now have to fly in a budget plane for the rest of the season. So now he's lost his plane and he's broke. Chris being poor was not my way to end 2025. Fine, I've got to admit that was satisfying. But I wish this greedy bastard got even more karma. Chris being miserable for the rest of the season, that's good enough for me for now. You know how I mentioned more karma? I may have spoken too soon, because in this episode, the Treasure Island of Dr. McLean, one of Chris's victims comes back for revenge.
Hi, fellas. However, did you
Let's talk about what Chris did to Dakota. Dakota was a sweet, innocent girl who only wanted to be famous. Just like everyone else on that deranged TV show. And why is this even a kid's show for f***ing sake? And of course, Chris being Chris dumps toxic waste on her. The same waste he obtained illegally, which nerfed her into a giant green monster. No, not that kind of green mutant. The Vecna kind from Stranger Things. Of course, he laughs at her because there's no way a man with a literal heart of stone would feel guilty unless it affected him in some way. But here's the kink. Dakota snaps and chases him down, ready to make him pay.
When I get my hands on you, I'll tear you apart!
Ah! Game on!
Chris is running for his life, screaming and panicking in his helicopter like the coward he is. Now Dakota's rage is focused solely on Chris. She's determined to catch him, making him the victim for once.
I'm gonna turn you into parts!
Well, I won't call this karma, but it's more like justice is served. It really looks like Chris is going to get absolutely demolished by his own creation. I guess there's no escaping what you made. And honestly, he deserves every second of it. I just wish he got hunted by the Dakotazoid. This one does not pass the vibe check. Now we've seen Chris get karma in bits and pieces throughout the series, but what we haven't seen is someone destroying his most valuable property. A moment where someone finally makes Chris feel real loss. So let's fix that, shall we? In the episode, You Regatta Be Kidding Me, amazing episode title by the way, after Chris torments Duncan all season by mocking his bad boy, Duncan decides he's had enough.
Wait a minute. Where's Duncan?
What the heck was that?
Duncan's as fed up with this bullshit as I am, so he blows up Chris's mansion. The only problem with stopping there is Chris might recover from this emotionally.
My cottage!
You called that a cottage? It was a mansion!
But once Chris sees his mansion explode, he's absolutely devastated, in complete shock, stammering, handshaking, looking like he's about to cry. Chef had to comfort him. While Chris is having a mental breakdown, Duncan decides to help him out by celebrating.
Yeah! Woohoo! Now who's gone soft?
Duncan's dancing around, celebrating his bad boy achievement, while Chris looks like his soul has left his body. With so much property damage against him, even Chris's insurance company can't save him now. Then comes the most satisfying sight ever seen in this series. Chris McLean, the untouchable host, broken.
So many pictures of me. Gone. All gone.
Watching our TV show tyrant squirm as he realizes his precious mansion is gone scratches an itch. This is it. This is karma at its finest. And Chris gets his petty revenge by having Duncan arrested.
You're under arrest for the destruction of a private cottage.
It was not a...
We hear you, Court. Why? Because Chris is a man-child who can't handle losing. I know what you're all thinking. It sucks that Duncan got cuffed. But don't worry. Chris may have won the battle, but Duncan certainly won the war. And I know for sure Chris didn't enjoy this next trip. In an effort to host the 100th episode, Chris completely forgets about the feral creature living underground. At the same time, Ezekiel is dead set on getting revenge on the man that abandoned him.
Good one, eh? Now slow down and let McLean back in. All eliminations are final.
To avoid the usual backlash of his actions, Chris just ignores the fact that he turned a human boy into a monster. You'd think that abandoning someone on a toxic island would keep them out of his mind, but it's quite the opposite.
Trina,
Look!
please don't interrupt.
While exploring the mines, Ezekiel kidnaps Chris and drags him underground. For once, Chris is terrified, genuinely fearing for his life.
I said, help!
He's trapped in complete darkness, listening to this feral creature hunt him. Ugh, I don't even know what's more disturbing, the monster or Chris screaming. I wish I couldn't see that. Some of the contestants decide to rescue Chris, but it takes them forever, because honestly, they're not in a rush.
Help!
It came from down here.
Which is why we should go the other way.
How can someone possibly be so damned evil that even his rescuers don't want to rescue him? Why did he even abandon Ezekiel when they knew this would happen? Then, Gwen saves Chris by shooting the Zekazoid with a bazooka, and Chris falls painfully.
Ow!
Cameron!
Could have been a little more.
It took Ezekiel literally hunting him like prey to make him scared. But hey, you take what you can get, right? As if Chris can learn from his mistakes. This guy's so insane, he literally made an entire island with deadly robots and booby traps just for fun. Of course, this is stupid. There's no way someone with this much power wouldn't get overthrown. Scarlet tails him and discovers the island's control is vulnerable. Turns out Scarlet is a genius, and she hijacks the entire island. She traps Chris, controls the robots, and threatens to blow everything up. So now Chris is scared, and he finally sees that he has no power anymore. You have no power here, Gandalf the Grey.
Scarlet's gone rogue and is gonna blow up the island. We gotta warn the others.
He tries to negotiate and beg, but being powerless means that he has no target for his own island. And although he can't be killed on a kids show, he can be terrified, and terrified he is. Psych, it's Chris McLean we're talking about. He doesn't care about the island. He has the $1 million and he's in a helicopter. The kids could die for all he cares. With his island self-destructing, Chris's terror changes to focus on himself, and he tries to save his own skin by abandoning the contestants. As usual, his plan works, except his island isn't destroyed, unfortunately. But this happened, and then the island exploded and froze and etc. because smashing the controls made everything out of control. I guess there's no one that can protect you from your own creations. Wait a minute, Karma, is that you? Okay, so we've seen Chris get humiliated, injured, and financially ruined throughout the series. But what we haven't seen is where the law catches up to this psychopath. In the finale of Revenge of the Island, after Chris tries to blow up 13 contestants and Chef with a bomb, Chef switches the bomb location. Chris is as shocked by this as I am rejoiced by celebrating it, because when he presses the detonator, it explodes under him and he gets launched into the air like a ragdoll. While Chris is dazed on the ground, the police arrive. They arrest him for dumping toxic waste. Oh, finally, oh my God. And endangering lives. Chris McLean in handcuffs being dragged away to prison. Yes, yes, yes. Every single act of endangerment, every lie, every moment of torture, all coming back to haunt him. With so much evidence against him, Chris can't wiggle his way out of this one. Now for the best part. When All Stars starts, we see Chris being released from prison after serving time. And let me tell you, prison did not treat him well. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit, living in a tiny cell with concrete walls, no luxury, no fame, no adoring fans, just him alone, watching bugs race for entertainment. He's made a Chef 2.0 out of a cashew because he's so lonely, other inmates yell at him to shut up when he tries to narrate. Nobody cares who he is, he's just another loser in jail. He's miserable, broken, humbled. For a man whose entire identity is built on fame and luxury, prison is the ultimate punishment. He lost everything. His mansion, his dignity, his freedom, his reputation, and even though he gets released, he's now on parole, living in fear of going back to jail. Every time he does something risky, he hesitates. He's paranoid. He's anxious. That's long-term karma, baby. Prison broke him. And honestly, good. He needed to be broken. You and me both, sister. You and me. Oh, and before I toddle off, if you've got any bright ideas about who deserves the next Karma Smackdown, do pop them in the comments. Take care of yourselves. I'm off for a very strong drink after discussing this man-child for more than 15 minutes. Thank Christ for Christmas. Right then, cheerio.